Hey, this is Mike from the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today we're looking at Coffee Roaster from Stronghold Games. Specifically, this is the newest edition of Coffee Roaster, and looking online, from what I've gathered, it seems to be mostly an aesthetic change. There's very few rules that have been altered. Quick disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this game, and if you'd like to see my thoughts on the game, check out my separate review video. So Coffee Roaster is exactly that, a game about roasting coffee, trying to get it to the perfect level of doneness and also flavor it just right. It's for solo only, and it's primarily a game of bag building and token drawing. A quick note that I found the rules fairly vague or confusing on several points. I dug through Board Game Geek and other websites trying to find answers, and I think I'm playing the game correctly, but please let me know your thoughts in the comments if I get things wrong. One of the most common answers I saw for rules corrections were, this is the way it works in the app, so I guess a lot of people somewhat agree that the written rules aren't as clear as they could be, at least in the English version. So setup for the game is super simple. We're going to be on the standard side here. I actually haven't played on the simplified side. You have the cup over here. You're not going to mess with that until basically the second half of the game, the end of the game. You randomize the 5 cup effect tokens and you place them face up in these 5 squares here. You choose which coffee you're going to try to roast. Now they come in 3 levels of roast. You've got light roast, which are the 1 Roman numeral, medium roast, and dark roast. You can play a one-off game where you just do a single kind of coffee of any roast level, but I'm going to do a series of games, which is kind of my recommended way to play, where you start with a light roast, and then depending on how well you do, you'll go to a tougher, easier medium roast, and then again to a tougher, easier dark roast, and you total up your score at the end. For me, I'm going to take a chance and do an expert level light roast. This one's from Panama, and the portion of the card right here will tell you how you set up your initial bag. So here we've got 10 level 0 beans, 6 hard beans that need extra roasting, 7 water, and then these are our flavor tokens. We've got 4 red, 3 green, and 5 blue, and 35 just tells us how many tokens are in the bag total. Additionally, I'm going to put smoke tokens on the indicated spaces, 3 here on the 12 and 2 on the 10. I'm going to set my initial temperature level to the space that corresponds to the amount of water in my chosen coffee. So it's 7 water tokens in the bag, which means I start a little 8-7 water space here, or level 6 of the temperature. Finally, you place the wild flavor token right here, and you're ready to go. You can additionally choose to use this little marker to show how high the beans have roasted in your bag. That's an optional thing, but we are going to use it here just to kind of help us keep track of things. Now we're going to get into the roasting phase, which is really the meat of the game. And the idea is we're going to draw as many tokens as indicated at our current temperature level. First, it'll increase each turn, although it won't increase the first turn. You just start at the 6. And we'll roast any beans that come out, but we'll also have the option to use flavor tokens to perform a variety of effects. Here's our first draw, 6 tokens. Water is immediately removed back to the box. Before we roast our zeros, and generally speaking, they'll just increase by 1 level, so they'll turn into 1s, we can use any flavor tokens we've drawn for either immediate effects or for cup effects. For immediate effects, we just place the proper flavor tokens, so the wild spaces can have any color, some of the other ones need specific colors, and we perform the effect. So, for example, this one means you put 2 of the tokens you drew back into the bag, and you draw 2 replacements. Or this one means you draw 5 beans separately, you put 3 of them back in the bag, and you trash 2 of them out of the bag entirely. We can also work towards getting the wild flavor token, which would go into our bag. We need a 0 and a 1 there eventually, and for those kind of things, including the cup effects over here that need 2 tokens, you can build them in separate turns. I could put a 0 here now and a 1 there later. The cup effects are a little bit different. If we get 2 tokens here of the indicated colors, then we can place this little bonus token in the space provided for it. And this will make our cup phase, where we actually make the cup of coffee, a little bit easier. But in order to place our tokens here, we need to be able to perform their little colored ability. So green flavor tokens have you put 2 bean tokens back in the bag. You're basically saving them. Blue bean tokens have you take a big bean, one that's roasted a lot with a value of 2 or 3 or 4, and break it down into smaller values that go back in the bag. So I can't do this right now because none of these are 2, 3, or 4. Red flavors, which I didn't draw, let you combine beans. So I could put like 2 1s together and turn them into a 2. But again, I can't do that here because all I have is zeros. So when you place the token on the space, you get to perform its effect, and you must perform its effect. You can't put it on the space if you can't do the effect. And once you got both of them, you get to gain the little cup effect bonus. Now let's plan a bit before we go any further. So you can see down here how you're going to score for the particular cup of coffee you're doing. The roast point target I'm going for is 13. And you'll see this when we get to the cup phase of the game, but we're going to be putting tokens down in this cup. There's 10 spaces in total, and we want the total of the roasting, so these are zeros right now, but they can go up to 4, to be right at 13 if we can make it happen. So again, we have 10 spaces, we want to get right to 13. But we get bonus points if we can put the indicated flavor tokens, or at least as many of them as we can get, into the cup. So if I can get a red, a green, and 2 blues into the cup, and also get to 13, then I'll be scoring maximum points. So if I want to do a sort of quick calculation of what my ideal roasting would be, if I use 4 of these spots for flavor tokens, let's say I get lucky and get all of them, that would leave 6 spots left to get to 13, which means that my average bean level I'm shooting for is about 2, right? 6 times 2 is 12, so just under 13. So that's just something to kind of think about. I also can see which flavor tokens I want to get rid of. So I have 5 blues and I need 2 of them, so if I use a couple of them, not a big deal. I have 4 reds and only need 1 of them, so I probably want to use a lot of reds. And greens, I need 1 of them and I have 3, so I could also use a couple of those. But it seems a bit early, so I'll just let this one ride. So the zeros will be returned to the box and replaced with beans 1 level higher in roasting, so 2s, and these will go in the bag. And the flavor tokens will also go back in since I didn't use them. Now I can, if I choose, increase this to 2 to show that I have 2 points of roasting in my bag now. And if I keep track of which beans I've removed from the bag, I can kind of get what my average is. So I know I've got 6 hard beans, which are almost sort of below 0, and 10 zeros to start. So out of 16 beans in the bag, and I have 2 roasting. Certainly not to a 2 average yet. Okay, we go into another turn. We up the temperatures. We're going to draw 7 tokens this time. And good lord, that is a lot of red. So the water goes right away. And remember, I only need 1 red out of 4, so I think I am going to go ahead and use an immediate effect. This lets me draw 2 more beans from the bag, which hopefully will get more things roasting. No, got some more greens. I had to get another 0, though. So I can't combine beans with the red because they have to be 1 or higher. And I don't really want to save with the green because I want the zeros to roast. I need to get to an average of 2. So we're going to stick with this. So 3 zeros come out, 3 1s come in, and all the flavor tokens go back in the bag with them. And again, I'll up this, so I've got 5 roast in my bag total. All right, good. It's more beans this time. I'm still getting rid of water. Remember, we started with 7. So I still can't use a red to combine. I could save like a 1 and a 0 just to get rid of a green, but I'm not in too much of a hurry to get rid of greens. Red's really what I want to ditch. So we'll just let this roast too and not use anything yet. I could get the wild flavor token if I took out the 0 and the 1, which is something to think about. But since I'm still so early in roasting, I'd kind of rather roast these. So the 1 becomes a 2, the zeros both become 1s, and then hard beans become a 0. So here we go, a nice little mix of numbers, and the red and the green go back too. Now at the end of any of these little roasting phases, I can choose to go straight to the cup phase and say, hey, I'm ready, I have the values I want to have. In this case, of course, that would be a very bad thing to do, because there's no way I'm going to get to a 13 roast. Oh, I forgot. I think I got 3... Maybe. I should have paid better attention. All right, we're going up to 9. All right, another water gone. And good, we're going to get some beans actually roasting well. Ooh, I could finally use a red. Well, let's do that to get rid of another one. So to briefly go over the cup effect that you can work toward, because I think that's what I'm going to do. So during the cup phase, I'm going to draw 1 token at a time, and I have to choose either to put it in my cup where it'll be scored, or put it over here. I have 3 kind of holdover spots. Once those 3 are full, I have to put every token I draw into the cup, whether it's good or bad for me. So this one gives me 2 more spaces to put things on, gives me a little more mitigation. This one, if I buy it after I put everything in my cup, I can get rid of 2 beans and then draw 3 and pick 2 of them to put as replacements. So it lets me kind of mess with my cup as well. This one just puts an automatic 3 in, not so good for us here since we're trying to get a lower value. This one means that specifically when I draw for these spaces, I'll draw 2 and pick 1 instead of the normal just drawing 1. And this one is a wild flavor token, so it could be a red, green, or blue when I'm scoring these. But some roasts will also call for this token specifically as a requirement for flavor. So yeah, let's start setting up some stuff. So I do like this one that gives me 2 more spaces. So to do that, I have to take 2 beans and combine them. So they become a 2, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and they immediately go into my bag. I'm gonna leave one of the ones here just so I remember kind of how my average works out. Remember, I had 16 beans, now I have 15 beans total in my bag because I took out 2 and replaced them with 1. Now, I can't use the blue because that breaks up beans, which means I need to have a 2 or higher. And I don't want to save because I want these roasting, so we'll stop there. So the 1 becomes a 2, the 0 becomes a 1, and the hard bean becomes a 0. So overall, that's a net increase of 2. Now up at the top here, you can see we've reached a special space. I'm adding 2 smoke, which are just negative tokens that give me minus victory points, into the bag. And additionally, this red means that the temperature is extra hot this round, so any beans that are roasting will roast up 2 levels instead of just 1. All right, well, I drew a ton of flavor. That's not necessarily good. The water goes away. Yeah, so I can't use my reds or my blues for any of the cup effects because I don't have anything that I can add together or break up. I could use them for some immediate effects, but I'd kind of rather save them for later. So as boring as it is, I think we'll just let these things balloon up and roast a whole lot. So again, this round roasting is doubled. Now hard beans still just become 0. That always happens. But these 3 zeros will become 2s, and this 1 will become a 3. So that is an increase of 8 to our overall roasting level. We are at 18 now. And with us currently having 15 beans in the bag, we're slightly above a 1 average, although we do have a 3 sneaking around in there, but we'd like to go higher. So we're definitely not stopping yet. Let's go to 11. All right. So this is not great because I drew a lot of 2s, which are going to roast a little faster than I'd like. I would have rather drawn some more 0s and 1s. Also, again, got a lot of flavors. I did draw both of my smokes. One of these immediate effects down here, which can be any color, gets rid of all of the negative ones you've drawn, except for hard beans. So I'd get rid of 2 smokes here, but I'm about to add 3 more smokes, so it seems better to save that for like next turn. But hey, we can get rid of some blues. So remember, a blue breaks it up, so this is going to become 2 1s in my bag. And I'll take one of them from here, because now we're back to 16 beans in the bag. And then also gets us this, so that cup effect is in action now. And then I guess I could do it again. So let's see, what do I want to work toward? The wild flavor wouldn't be too bad. Although I also like the one that lets me replace at the end. Okay, for now let's do this, so that'll break this up into 2 1s as well. And there's no good way to mark it, but now I'm going to be at 17 beans instead of 16 in the bag. And I don't want to use the green yet, so let's stop there. So the 2 will become a 3, the 0 a 1, and the hard bean a 0, which means we're up to a 20 average with 17 beans. Right now we're going to another smoke round. 3 smoke coming out and another double roast. That could be good for us if we draw a lot of 0s. Okay, well, not too many 0s in there. That water is gone. So all these 1s would become 3s, which we can work with. The 0 I don't mind. The 2 would go up to a 4, and the 3 would actually go straight up to a burn, which is a -1 in your pool, so you don't want to go for that. So let's see. Let's do some tricky things. Let's get the wild flavor token, take out a 0 and a 1, because I don't necessarily need them. That has thinned my little bag, by the way, to 15 beans, and I got that. So I guess that lowers my overall to 19. And then, let's see. I've used 2 reds. I can afford to use 1 more. And I could afford to use 1 more blue. I'd kind of rather use a green, though, but I didn't draw any. Oh, and I can't even get anything. Well, let's see. Let's go for 1 more of these. So if I do the blue here, that would let me break something up, so I can turn this 3 that's going to burn into a 2 and a 1 and put them back in the bag. So now we're definitely at more beans overall. And I guess I could do a red to finish that one up. Yeah, because I don't want these to burn too much. So let's do a red to make this 1-1, combine them into a 2. But they go straight into the bag, which means they won't double roast. And that does get us this little replace token for later. All right, so not counting my wild, I now have the minimum number of blue and red in the bag to potentially get all the flavor I need. And I'll also have the honey, so I could afford to use more for sure. And I haven't used any green. That's definitely the worst one for me. So let's stop there. We'll turn the 2 and a 1 into a 4 and a 3 and just hopefully avoid them when it comes around to the bag phase. So it puts us at about 23 with, I think, I don't know, we're at like 17 maybe. So we still have a lot of 0s and 1s floating around, I think. So let's go 1 more round and see if maybe we'll stop here. All right, 13 is a lot. All right, so we got a 4 that's about to burn. I could use a blue to break it up. Well, thank God I got a green. That's probably actually the better thing to use. Now I need to do immediate effects before I do cup effects. So let's see if I want to do any of these before I go and work with that green. And honestly, I guess I don't. So let's go ahead and use the green cup effect. That gets us our special flavor wild, and that will take up 1 of the 10 spots in our bag. And I'll save a 4 and 1 of the 2 from roasting. They go back in the bag. And that means we'll get 2 2s, 2 3s, a 1, and hey, we got a little hard bean turning into a 0. All right, so I didn't ditch any smoke, which means I could be in a bad way, but let's take our chances. I don't want to roast anymore. So just to remind you, we're trying to get to 13 roasting. The closer we are to that, the better we do. And we're going for a red, a green, and 2 blue flavor tokens potentially. Anything over that won't add any extra points. We've got a flavor, which means a wild, so that'll fill in for any of those 4 flavor tokens. We're going to be able to put 5 things down that we don't like instead of the normal 3. And at the very end, we're going to be able to switch out 2 things, draw 3 and replace them. So we're just drawing one at a time and making our choice. A red. We do need one of those, so that's fine. And a 3. We need to go to 13. And ideally, we're going to have 6 spaces in use, so we can afford 1 3, but we don't want too many more. A 1. That should be okay. I don't think I need to give up a space for that yet. Okay, smoke. Definitely going out. Don't want to have 1 minus point in there. Another 1. I know I have like some 3s and 4s that could balance it out. Okay, I'm not going to use up one of my spaces yet. Okay, the wild, definitely. So now we've already got 3 of the 4 flavors we need, and a green or a blue would finish this up. Another smoke, goodbye. Another smoke, yeah, definitely left all those in. A 3, yes, that'll counteract the 1. So we've got 6, 8 so far out of 13. I'm going to get 5 more in the 3 spots to left, or maybe 1 more flavor. Okay, green. So that would finish off our flavor and get us the full points for that. So I guess we'll stick with that. So we want 2 and a 3 to finish off our roasting. 2. Okay. 1. No. A blue. No. All right, see if we get lucky. Oh, a 0. So we have to put that in there. But because we have the replace effect here, we can take 2 of these tokens, put them back in the bag, shuffle the bag up, draw 3, and place 2 of those in the empty spaces we've created. So we're definitely getting out the 0. I guess the question becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I take out a 1. We've got 9. We need 4 more. That gives us some flexibility, though. All right, so let's try that. All right, so I'm drawing 3 tokens. Oh, I think this might work. 3, 4, 7, 9. So what do we want? Ah, darn, we're going to go over. Because that brings us to 11. That brings us to 14, which is a pretty steep drop. We went from 14 points to 7 victory points. All right, so now we score our cup. Anything that got left over here does not count. And scoring is pretty simple. I'm going to put that we had the number 5 roast here. So roast points, we got 7. Because again, our total was 14, which is slightly off of the perfect value here. Flavor points, we got all 4 with our 2 wilds in effect. And as this little cheat sheet shows, if you have all 4, you get 10 victory points. 3 would have gotten a 6, 3, and 1. And you actually get a negative if you're missing flavor completely. Now there's also skill points. Basically, if you have 3 or more of a given number in your cup, then you get bonus points for the more of those you have. So since we only had 1 3 of a kind, we get a single skill point. If we had somehow managed to have like a ton of 2s in there, we would have gotten a lot more. And then X's, we did not get any. All the smoke was outside of our cup. So that is 18 points. Pretty respectable score for our light roast. All right, now we're going to do it all over again for our medium roast since we're doing the series. So we once again randomize where our cup effects go. The wild goes back to its spot. And based on our performance in the first roast, we get to pick a beginner, moderate, or a expert roast. In this case, we did get a high enough score that we could pick an expert. So let's do this blend from Yemen for our medium roast. So we're only going to have 5 water this time, 9 hard beans, 9 zeros, so a 50-50 split there. And then, man, this one is rough. We've got 6 defective beans floating around in our bag, which can't do anything and are -2 points if you end up using them. We finally got 3 reds, 2 greens, and 4 blues to finish us off. Since there was 5 water, we're starting 1 temperature higher on the 7. Now let's do a bit of planning. We're trying to get to an 18 level of roasting, ideally. We've only got 3 flavor tokens this time, so in an ideal world, we'll use up 3 of our 10 spots in the cup for those, have 7 spots left for this, so 18 divided by 7, that's a little bit above 2.5. So we want a mix of 2s and 3s here. So definitely a deeper roast, which makes sense since this is the medium roast. But yeah, all of those defective ones are really going to mess me up. So let's jump right in with our 7 tokens. I'm going to talk through the rules much less, of course, this time. All right, so we got some defective beans. We can trash all of those with this wild instant action down here, but I'd rather wait until we have some smoke, so we just got to kind of deal with it. So that's 3 1s and 1 0 coming at us. Brings us up to a 3 overall. Oof, all right. Some more defective ones. We're going to roast a few things. We get a water out. So let's see, we have 4 blues. We only need 2 of them. We have 2 greens, we only need 1. The 3 reds are useless to us. They aren't even wanted in the flavor, so maybe I should have used that red last turn. But I can't get rid of some blues. Maybe I should put 2 of the defective beans back in and draw some replacements to get some roasting going better. Yeah, sure, let's try that out. So we place these back in first. We could draw them right back if we're unlucky. Okay, we got 1 of them, but at least we'll roast a hard bean. So we're getting 2 1s and 2 0s. Up to 5 now. Right up to 9. We got to be roasting faster here. Oh, wait, we need... Yeah, okay, there we go. And then we take away the water. So that's a nicer mix, isn't it? Do I get rid of this red pretty quickly? Ooh, I could combine the 1s into a 2. Yeah, let's do that. So red can get me the honey, which I don't really need that much this time. I don't love that one. I mean, these are my 2 favorites, so maybe I should go ahead and set that one up. I'll combine these into a 2. All right, so then I'm getting 2 0s and a 1. And we're into the smoke and double heating already. All right, I like this draw because we want to get some beans heated, although the hard beans will only become 0, so they're not going to benefit as much. I still want to get rid of my red beans, so I could combine these 1s into a 2. It would remove the benefit of the double roasting, but getting rid of this is certainly worth it. So let's see, I don't want to take out too many greens, so if I use a green to get that, I probably don't want to go for that. And I guess I could go for the flavor, and that would give me freedom to get rid of stuff a little bit more. So I will combine these 2 1s into a 2. Just a reminder that goes straight into the bag, so it's not going to roast. So that means I'll be getting 3 2s out of this, and then 2 hard beans will become 0s. Bump of 6. Yeah, we are still really low. Our average is not even 1 yet. All right, now we have 11, 1 water gone. There's actually a decent time to do the get rid of bad tokens. I'd get rid of 2 defective ones and 2 smoke, but it's a green, which I kind of need for that. But, yeah, and then I could wait and draw more. I'm about to get 3 more smoke. No, you know, I think I'll have a worse turn. So let's just let these cook. So I'm in 3 1s, a 2, and a 3. So that's up to 17 average. On another smoke turn. Not much time left to roast this thing up. All right, well now. Got a lot of water. I don't love that. We got a tiny amount of bad tokens. I guess that's kind of okay for me. But not a ton of beans either. I got a lot of flavor. I could draw 2 more and see if my options improve. Let's try that. Okay, 0 and another flavor token. Jeez. I mean, the blue is pretty terrible here. I could use the green, though, to get that. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd save the red instead here. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. We got to save 2. I guess I don't need this to cook up. And this 0 is going to be a wasted one anyway, so let's save that in the bag. So that'll let these 2 become 3s, and that one become a 2. So that's a bump up of 6. We're at 23. Definitely not enough yet. I'm not feeling optimistic about this roast. Okay, so in a way this is terrible because I'm not going to roast almost any beans, but in another way it's great because I'm about to get rid of a ton of negative stuff. Although to do it I have to use a blue because that's the only thing I drew. But hey, we got to do it. So I lose 2 smoke and 4 of my 6 defective beans. That's definitely good. And what's left is going to be fairly well roasted, except these 0s. That's not really helping me at all. So 2 0s, 3 3s, and a 4 in the end. Brings up to a 27 average. Yeah, we definitely have to go 1 more. I still don't think we've roasted enough then. All right. Man, a lot of defective beans and smoke still. Oh, and crud, I got a 4 that's about to burn. So you know what? Let's get rid of a 0 and a 1 to get a wild flavor token, because those 0s and 1s are not going to help me get to the high level I need. And then I need 1 green, but I'm going to have a honey and the wild, so I should be fine. So do I want to use any immediate effects? I don't think so. So let's go ahead and get the honey. And I can save 2, so I'll save a 4 and a 3, of course. And then I don't want to use my wild, so I guess the rest of these are just going to roast. Should I use a blue? I need 2 blue, and I only have 2 blue in my whole bag. Although, I mean, that kind of takes care of it. But no, I don't really want to break them up, because I do want to be higher roasted. So we can get a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. 1 of each value. Alrighty, moment of truth. We have to go into the cup phase, since we're at 14. So here, I'm actually going to use this to mark how far I've gone with my roasting. So I'm at 0 out of 18 ideal right now. Okay, defective bean with -2 victory points. No, thank you. A 3? Yes, I'll definitely take that. Smoke? No. 2? Sure. Remember, the average we were looking for is sort of like a 2.5 here, so that's pretty good. A 1? No. Although I don't have the replacement. No, I'm going to roll with it. Okay, 2, much better. 3, yes. Feeling good about this. Okay, another defective bean. No. Another 3. What are we at? 9, 11, 13 out of 18. So we need 5 more. I want some flavor tokens if I can get them. Oh, gosh. Okay. We only need 2 more now. I'm wishing I had put that 1 in. Okay, blue. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's good. 0. Okay. So I've got 2 of the 3 flavor to get max points. This would protect me, because if I fill this, I mean, yeah, I could easily go over, so I think I have to use the 0. Darn it. Okay, come on. Oh, is that it? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yes, perfect. Let's stop there. So I did get a total of 18 roast, the ideal, which is 13 victory points. Much better than last time. Let's see, this is roast 14. Flavor, I've got just a blue and the special one, so 2 gets me 3 victory points. And let's see, multiples, I got actually a couple of them. So I've got 4 3s, that's worth 2 points, and I got 3 2s, that's worth another point, so that's 4 skill points overall. And no negatives again. So 13, 16, 20, even better on my medium roast, but that was a pretty lucky pull there. All right, so we're going into an expert dark roast this time, since we got another good score. And let's see how the things fall out. All right. And let's see. We've got 2 expert dark roasts to choose from. We'll do this one from Ethiopia. Won a 19 roast, so only slightly higher than last time, just 1 more. And actually, in a way, this looks easier. It's kind of odd, right? Because look, we've got 6 zeros and 12 hard beans, so that's tougher, but we've got no defective beans and more water, which gives us more time to actually roast it up. And then 5 blue, 4 green, 3 red. We once again don't need red. We do need the honey to get the maximum value. But yeah, reds are going to be something we're going to try to throw away. All right, temp is on the lowest setting again. Let's get to it. Wow. All right, no flavor tokens, which I kind of prefer because I want to be roasting quickly. But yeah, we're going to get 5 of our 12 hard beans to become zeros. So we actually only increased to a level of 1 roast from the 0, but the rest of these are at least more usable now. All right, no decisions in that one, although I guess we could have put the 0 there for the while, but let's keep it going. And darn, now we go the opposite way and get way too many flavor tokens. So reds we can just trash freely, although I don't know if now is the time to draw extra. And we certainly can't combine anything. Remember, blues and greens, we could theoretically get rid of 2 or 3 of them and be okay. But I want things to roast. Yeah, so, I don't know. I think, you know what, I do want to get rid of the reds more quickly, and I want things to roast more, so let's go ahead and draw 2 extra. Hey, all right, we got rid of 4 more hard beans. We're going to have real beans only in our bag pretty soon, it seems. All right, but I think we'll stop there for now. That'll be 4 more zeros and just 1 that's actually increasing. And increasing up to 8 temperature. All right, some water and some zeros. No hard beans this time. And yeah, I can't use any of these for their effects unless I wanted to save the zeros. That's not good for me. So I guess we'll just let it roast. Okay, temperature 9, almost to the smoke. All right, some water gone. We got 1 hard bean in here. Do I want to use any effects? Can't use the blue unless I did an instant. The green, I don't want to save these, so I guess we'll let it roast again. So that's 3 1s and a 2 this time. All right, now we get to the really important one. Let's see what our double temperature is going to give us. Oh man, a ton of water. That kind of wasted our extra temperature quite a bit. I don't know that I love having a 4 already either. So, let's use a red. What do I want to get? I need the honey to get the maximum value here, so we'll set it there. We can combine a 2 and a 1 into a 3, but that won't let this level up into a 4. But the rest of these I'm fine with, so we'll get 2 2s and a 3. Okay, and back to a regular roasting phase. All right, nice mix of real beans here. I think I might get the wild flavor and take out some of these lower values. Okay. I do have a red, so let's combine some things. I guess I'll get the replacement one. I do like that one. So let's make these 1s into a 2. So I've gotten rid of all my reds now. The question is, do I want to do anything else? I wouldn't mind getting rid of especially some greens since I only need 1 of them. But I don't know if I really want to hold stuff this round. I guess they'll roast more if I take out more flavor tokens. Like they'll get more chance to actually do stuff. So sure, let's go ahead and get the flavor one we want. And we'll hold the 2 and the 1 and we'll just let the this one become a 0. All right, we're getting the rest of our smoke in here. Hey, not a bad draw for smoke. We can get rid of 3 of the 5 negative tokens we have immediately. I guess I want to do that with blue since we haven't used one yet. So bam, there we go. Get out of here. This is a double roasting round, but I don't necessarily mind having a bunch of 4s to play with. So at this point I do have the wild. I'm looking for 1 green and 2 blues, and with 1 of each gone, I've got 1 more than I need, plus the wild. But there are a lot of beans in there, so the chance of drawing flavor tokens might mean it's good. I do need to get rid of a blue, though. But is now the time to do it? I would take 1 of these, turn it into 2 1s instead of getting a 4. But I guess that might be safe, because I got 2 more rounds of roasting, so sure. Let's try it. All right, so I'm get my little replacement one. And this 2 is going to become 2 1s. But then these 3 become 2s, and this becomes a 4. Okay, well, we got a 4 we need to save. So I guess this green is our way to go here. I want to do that because all my bad tokens are already out. Well, I could put 2 of them back in and draw something else, but I might as well work toward one of these. So yeah, let's put the green on that. Save this 4 and this 3. I could use a green again, but that seems like a bad idea. I could use the wild as a red and combine some things if I wanted to, but then that takes away my flexibility of having that one. You know what? That might be a terrible idea, but I don't like using the blue to break things up. I need higher valued beans. Well, wait, I can wait until next time, right? Yeah, because I have greens left. So let's not get that one yet, in case I need to save some high value beans again next round. So gosh, I still had 2 hard beans in there. Gonna get 0s from those, and then 2 2s and a 3. All right, we're up to 14. I don't think I have high enough values yet. But I guess we'll see. All right. Yeah, that worked out for us. So I'll use another green to get that and save a 4 and a 3. And the rest of these will just increase humongously. I mean, gosh, look how many things we drew. So I'll get 1 4, a ton of 3s, and then a couple 2s and a 1. All right, and here we go. Just a reminder, we want to get to 19 ideally. We want a green and 2 blues. The honey is doing its own thing. It's not acting as a wild this time. But we do have a replacement at the end, and we've got our 4th and 5th spot there. Okay, 3 seems like a good spot. Let's see, what was my math again? If I have 6 spots, I want a 3 average. If I get 4 flavor spots, yeah, 3 average with a little bit of extra. Blue, yes, we need 2 of those, so sure. Another 3, yes, let's get all 3s and then a single 4. I'd be very happy. 2. No. Not yet. Not yet. 3. Okay. 3. Oh my gosh. Yes. A wild. Yeah, that's great. We're doing very well. Okay, so I need a blue or a green to finish off our flavor. A 3. Wow. Okay. Now, if we get a green and then a 4, we are flawless here, I think. 4, yes. Wait, is this really right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 19. So we are dead on right now. We don't even need our replacement yet. So let's hope we can get a flavor thing. No, we don't need you. No, we don't need you. Oh, man. Yes. Oh, my gosh. All right, well, this seems unfairly lucky, but this went pretty well. So let's see. That was coffee 21. So we've got 15 flavor points here. Because again, 6, 12, 15, 19. So dead on, 15 points. We had all of the flavor we needed, which is another 10 since there were 4 of them. And we got a lot of skill points this time. So 3, 4, 5 of a kind. And that is, okay, so it's always just 1 more, so just 3 points for that. And yeah, no X's the entire time, so 25, 28, geez. All right, so I felt pretty blessed here. That was a 16, 26, 46, 66. That is my highest score. I've got a little chart here if you want to check. Oh yeah, there we go. Master Roaster, the best you can do. So, awesome. Got really lucky there. Drew just what I needed. I mean, what was left in my bag? I feel like... Well, actually, I mean, to be fair, I didn't have much except for 3s in my entire bag, and, you know, I had 2 spots left to kind of fill, so I was looking pretty good the way I set myself up there. So that is Coffee Roaster, the new edition. Check out my review video if you want to hear my thoughts. Good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.